Hey everybody, I'm Sean. Welcome to another episode of Angling Spiders. Welcome back everybody. On today's episode, something really special. I am going to highlight something that I am super excited about, my new kayak. For those of you that have been watching the channel for a long time, you know that I started this channel with my son and we bought a couple of sit-in kayaks from Costco, and we have used those for almost 6 years. And the reason I bought them at the time was because of portability. I do not have a truck and I do not have a trailer, so I needed to be able to have a light kayak that I could transport in my van, and in our case on top of our van. And in order to do that, I had to be able to lift the kayaks above my head, so I needed a super lightweight kayak. That's why I went with the Pelican Mission 100. But I gotta tell you, I have always wanted something a little bit different, including the potential to someday upgrade into a pedal drive kayak. The limit to that was that most pedal drive kayaks are very heavy and I can't lift them above my head to get them on top of my van. They're also usually quite long, and that was a challenge for me until now. And I'm super excited to talk about what's sitting right beside me here. So let's get to it on today's episode of Angling Spiders. All right, so what I am going to do today, everybody, is I am going to show you what's in here. And yes, this is indeed my new kayak in this package. I'm going to show you what's in here. But I also, before I get to that, I want to first and foremost say thank you so much to my new sponsor partners, Riot Kayaks. I reached out to Riot because I heard about this product and that it might be a solution to my pedal drive kayak problem. And I was surprised to find out that they were willing to partner with me. And so they sent this kayak to me at an absolutely amazing deal. And because of that, you're going to get to see this thing featured throughout this season on Angling Spiders. I cannot wait. So to the team at Riot Kayaks, thank you so much. Now, let's get to showing you what comes in this thing, because it's amazing that it all fits in this carrying case. Just before I open this up and show you guys what's inside, a little bit about this product. This is the Mako Air 8.5 kayak from Riot Kayaks. It is 8.5 because it is only 8.5 feet long when it's fully inflated. It's an inflatable pedal drive kayak, sit on top, that is stable enough to stand on. It has a ton of features that I'm super excited about, but one of the reasons why it's so compact is because it's an inflatable kayak. So let's show you what comes in here and why it's so special. All right, everyone, before I unbox this thing, let's first get to the actual carrying case itself and the fact that this thing packs down into a very small space, which is why I'm super excited about it, because this will easily fit inside my van. I don't even have to put it on the top of my van. I can slide it into the back of my van. So let's talk about the dimensions when this thing is put away. It is approximately 38 inches long, depending on where you measure, but roughly 38 inches long. It is about 28 inches wide, and it is only about 12 inches high. So it is compact. It will fit very, very easily in most vehicles. And in fact, this would fit in the trunk of a car. So that's fantastic. And so let's just get inside here right now and show you what you can expect when you open this up. All right, everyone, so this is what you're going to see when you first open it up. And of course, it's going to be packed. I have gone through it and I've unpacked everything. When this first arrived, everything was in bubble wrap and packed in all the various parts. I've removed that so for the ease of the video. The first thing you notice when you open it up is the pedal drive. And there is some assembly required, so you'll see as I lift this up, it doesn't currently have the pedals on it, but it is a true reversible pedal drive system. It does have a propeller blade, and you can pedal it in forward or reverse to get both forward and reverse thrust. In addition to the pedal drive, it comes with a rod holder And as I'll show you later, there's actually a rod holder on the kayak itself that this snaps into. So it's nice that they included a rod holder for fishing as part of the package. In addition to that, you've got a manual pump. And according to Riot, this pump will take anywhere between 3 to 4 minutes only to inflate this kayak. Now I am going to test that out because that seems very quick to me, but you've got your pump and your quick connect hose, and more importantly, it does have a PSI gauge because you want to inflate this kayak to the proper PSI. Next up, you've got the bracket that holds the rudder on the back, and this kayak does have a steerable rudder, so that's fantastic. And probably one of the things I'm most excited about, it comes with an adjustable seat. And this is, as I mentioned, a sit-on-top kayak. So for the first time, I am actually going to be sitting on the deck rather than sitting inside this kayak with a comfortable adjustable seat. Lastly, before I get to the kayak itself, it does come with a patch kit that's going to include your glue and your patches in case you get a tear or a hole in your kayak. Very important. And of course, last but not least, the kayak itself. Now, in order to show this properly, I'm going to have to remove this from the bag and lay it out on the table, but I can tell you that it's basically folded in 3. Okay, so I've got the kayak now out of the bag, laying on the table, and I can show you how it unfolds into the 3 folds. So basically this unfolds, and set the rudder underneath, and now you can see the actual deck of the kayak. You can see the rudder attachment cables right here. The chambers, 3 separate chambers for inflation, and also now the cable that runs to the seat, that attaches to the seat. This is your rudder control system. If I unfold the front, you can now see the front of the kayak. We now have the D-rings that are for the attachment of the seat. As I mentioned, the rudder control cable that attaches to the side of the seat. Got some carry handles here. Got the beautiful Mako logo. Here's a close-up of that attachment point for the rod holder. Unfortunately, it does only come with one of those, so I'm going to have to put another one on the other side, on this side, to hold my fish finder. So you can buy Scotty inflatable mounts that glue onto an inflatable kayak that you can use. And so I'm going to need to get one of those for that side to put the fish finder transducer arm and the fish finder itself on. And then in the middle here, as I said, you've got the well for attaching the pedal drive system, and on either side of that you've also got a rail system, so you can add other attachments. Now, depending on whether or not your pedals are forward or back, you might have to put those pieces of equipment behind the pedals or in front of the pedals. I'm hoping that based on the length of my legs, I'm going to be able to put a track mount behind the pedals with an angle to a camera mount and put my second GoPro on there. So that is the deck of this kayak. Okay everyone, I mentioned that there was a little bit of assembly required when you first get this kayak, so I'm going to go over that now. But I have to say it's pretty well laid out in terms of the parts and the tools that they provide. Okay, starting at the back end here, you've got the rudder, and as I mentioned before, you've got to install that. You've got the rudder cables here that are going to be steering it left and right, that attach to your rudder handle. You've got the mounting bracket, and you've got the rudder itself. Now, this mounting bracket can't be installed right now because it's actually a pressure fit mounting bracket for the rudder. You have to inflate the kayak, and then you can put the mounting bracket on and then attach the rudder to it, but you can, prior to that, at least attach the cables. Mid-ship here, you've got the rudder steering cable, and that needs to be mounted through a track system to the chair. So you do this every single time you put the kayak and inflate it. You take this off, and then you can mount it back on the chair. There's a track system on the side of the chair that this attaches into. The pedals need to go onto the pedal drive system, and you've got clearly labeled screws to attach it with, left and right. And then, as I mentioned, you've got some tools. All right, so that's some of the things that you need to do to get this kayak ready. Some of it you need to do before you go out to the lake, some of it you need to do at the lake. I'm not going to do everything in this video. That will be a video for the future, where I will also have the fully inflated kayak and show you some of the features with the chair setup and some of the other features like the maximum weight capacity, how the rudder works, the rudder control system works, all those types of things, the pedal drive, etc. So you can look forward to that in a future video. For now, I'm going to close this out with the exception of one thing. I mentioned I wanted to test how quick it is to inflate this thing, so that's what I'm going to do. I want to see this thing inflated because I also haven't done it yet to test to make sure that nothing happened to it during the shipping process and that it is actually in good shape. So that's the next thing I'm going to do, is get this thing inflated. What you do next is you take your pump with the attachment end and you put it in and turn until it locks in place, just like that. And now with that in place, we can put our feet on the pump and pump away. Okay, there it is, inflated, working perfectly. All the chambers inflated. Not all the way, I didn't want to push it. I inflated them to about 13 PSI. It's pretty rigid. So, looks great, holding air, and a great test. It took me less time for the second chamber because I was actually trying. It took me about 1.5 minutes and about under a minute for the middle section. So all told, you could easily inflate this thing in 5 minutes. Okay, everyone, there's one last thing I want to do before I close out today's video, and that is deflate this thing and see if I can get it back in the bag, because that is the ultimate test. You've been out fishing for a day, you've had a good day on the water, and you want to put this thing away once it's dry and bring it, store it, maybe store it for the winter. Can you get all of this thing back in the bag the same way it was in how I brought it out? Let's see. All right, there we go. An overview of my new inflatable pedal drive kayak, the Mako 8.5 Air from Riot Kayaks. Once again, want to thank my new sponsors, Riot Kayaks, for getting this thing to me. I cannot wait to use it this season. It is going to be so much fun. This just took on a whole new level of trolling, distance, stamina. I am super excited. I cannot wait to show you more of the features of this thing as I deck it out for fishing and get out for the first time. And you guys can look forward to all of that this year on Angling Spiders. So if you liked the video, smash that like button, hit subscribe. Until next time, good fishing.